invite you to stand now and sing the national anthem. That's what you call national pride. That's right. Distinguished guests, faculty and staff, graduates, parents, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good evening. My name is Janae Moss. I'm an insurance analyst at the Insurance Division of Economics and also a lecturer here at Farms Institute of Financial Services, and I am your MC for this evening. On behalf of all of us here at GIFT, I would like to welcome you all to our 2014 G12 commencement ceremony. Especially, above all, we'd like to welcome and congratulate our graduates. Let's please give them a hand. This is a wonderful moment for all of us here today, but above all, it is a wonderful moment for our graduates who, their hard work and their commitment to the program, they've earned the privilege to receive such prestigious certificate. Now, before we get into some of the more formal exercises of tonight, I would like to begin with a word of prayer. So I'd like to call Mr. Glenn Muddich to come with a invitation. Please stand. And the Grade 12 Financial Services Certificate Program equips high school students who show interest in careers in financial services with the skills and knowledge necessary for successful and long-term careers in financial services. This program boasts of housing and training some of the best and brightest in our national scholastic years. And our success stories over the years have been both encouraging and inspiring. I welcome now two of our students to share their inspirational stories with us, their experiences of the program. These two students are none other than Shante Duval and Tall Rogers Senior High School and Shannon Matthews, St. Augustine's College. Please welcome them.
Beyond this program, we know we have so many more work and numerous lectures. Yet, advantageously, our expectation was surpassed as we reflect on how we entered and how we are leaving. In two short sentences, we have learned numerous topics in each module. In Module 1, I can recall learning easier methods of solving problems and learning a number of valuable lessons, like when to invest and what should we invest in today from Mr. Fernando. At the same time, how can I forget the many economic topics that Mrs. Williams taught us, and the way she took the time to make sure that everyone understood the economic concepts. I remember her voice stressing the importance of demand and supply, saying, "This is real important. Mind, you're going to need this."
The second semester, I thought that there was no way Module 3 and 4 could be as fun and empowering as Module 1 and 2. However, both Module 3 and 4 brought what we considered fun and joyous knowledge, where we were intrigued at every step. Hence, it is safe to say that there was never a dull moment in Mrs. Poitier's class. We learned all about the Bahamas' financial institutions and the job they offered. But most importantly, we were fortunate to visit Credit Suisse and met Mrs. Antoinette Russell, the first female chairman of AIBT. Also, Mrs. Dean was truly memorable, too, especially when we were challenged with numerous case studies, which required us to think ethically. Mrs. Dean also passed what we believed we already knew, and opened our eyes to a new way of thinking. We will never forget the everyday life experiences she shared with us.
In addition to the educational aspect of G12, we, the students of Group 6, began as strangers. But as the time went on, we all became great friends and shared countless memories at the Institute. 17 of us started this academic program, and today only 12 of us stand here today.
That shows dedication, commitment, and time management. Therefore, to those who are here today, I would like to commend you for finishing the program. And I am certain that it was indeed worth it. Thank you and congratulations, please.
I would also like to commend Group 6 for finishing the program. Now you're sitting here and wondering, how can I get my child or my niece or nephew or neighbor or some church member in this program? You can visit our website, www.getsbahamas.com, for more information on enrollment, or you can visit us across the street around the house in Mountain Financial Services for more information. We are currently accepting new enrollment. Now, before I go on to the keynote speaker of tonight, I'd like to acknowledge the lecturers of the Institute. Please stand and be acknowledged. All lecturers. We also have the council members present who will also stand to be acknowledged. Coming now to introduce our keynote speaker is none other than the Executive Director of FITS, Ms.
Members of council, lecturers of the G12 program, colleagues, professional colleagues who are here to share with us today, staff of the Institute, parents, students. It is really my privilege to welcome our speaker to this podium this afternoon. But before I call on her to come, I would like to also share my congratulations to the 12 students who have been left standing and finishing this program. I want to wish you all the best as you move on to a different place in your life, a different level in your life. You're going to be moving out of high school and you're now going to be going into further tertiary studies, or you're going to enter the job market. I pray Godspeed and that you will always commit yourself, just as you've done in this program, to everything else that you pursue in life. And God bless you. Mrs. Cox Knowledge is presently the head of the Legal and Compliance Departments for UBS Bahamas Limited, a role which she encompasses in addition to legal and compliance responsibilities for the bank. Legal and compliance, inclusive of the provision of legal advice on cross-border basis, but also responsibilities for the two largest trust companies of UBS groups, namely UBS Trusts Bahamas Limited and the UBS Trustees Cayman Limited. Prior to joining UBS in 2004, Mrs. Knowledge was recruited for her law firm by an institutional client, to assume the position of head of legal risk and compliance for a Swiss bank for 4 years. Prior to 2004, she was in private legal practice at one of the leading law firms in the Bahamas. From 1993 to 1999, she supervised a team of lawyers in the banking and commercial law division. She also practiced as an attorney in the United Kingdom prior to this time. She is an accomplished graduate of the London School of Economics and Political Science, LCE London University. She obtained an LLM, Masters of Law degree in Commercial and Corporate Law, a member of the Bars of England and Wales and the Bahamas, a Trust and Estate Practitioner, TEP, certified CAMS, the holder of the International Diplomas in Compliance and Anti-Money Laundering distinction from the ICA, International Compliance Association in the United Kingdom. She served twice as president of BACO, and that is the Bahamas Association of Compliance Officers. An expert in her field, she has written several articles, and they were published in the Cayman Review and the ICAMS Today, a U.S. compliance magazine. She has done a number of articles for BACO's biannual publication on AML and compliance. She contributed sections on banking law in the Bahamas, in Banking Compendium, written articles on arbitration law, practice in the Bahamas, and changes regarding the same with respect to amendments to the Bahamas New Trustees Act. It was accepted by the IBA's International Bar Association Publications Committee and was published in the February 2013 in the International Legal Publications, IBA Arbitration News. In 2012, and I was there, I'm very proud of her, she received the Minister's Cup for her contribution to financial services. Please join me in welcoming a professional colleague and a friend, Mrs. Cherise Cox-Homage.
Good evening, and thank you so much, Kim. That was warm the cockles of my heart, as they say. Thank you. Well, good evening, everyone. It's a real pleasure to be here tonight. In fact, it's an honor. In particular, as I stand and look at the graduates, I too can't say enough about how proud we are that we stuck it through and made it thus far. I want to give you a particularly interesting charge tonight about how this is only the beginning. And I hope I can impart some life to you during this whole episode, at least share with you a few things that people have shared with me and some success tools that have helped me along. I entitled this charge, "It's Your Time, What Are You Prepared to Do?" As I said again, it's certainly an honor to come before you, your parents and family members, and to share in what is your joint victory and achievement in obtaining these certifications, which I hope you'll see as step one, just step one, in your lifelong quest for continuous learning, which quite frankly you don't have to see in that way. The world is changing too quickly, the competition is steep, and we're all replaceable. So you have to make yourself, if you haven't done so already, to continue this ongoing learning. As I mentioned, I decided to address you on several points and raising several, what I think, key issues for your consideration, which have served myself and others well. Firstly, always have grateful attitude. This will permit you to function in times when others only see desert and lack. And they really are. In any event, look around you. You've had the benefits of education. and a world that parents and grandparents could only have imagined. Having a grateful attitude will also shield you from the toxins of the bad attitudes that others have. Negativity is contagious. Flee it, and it's the people. It will weigh you down and hold you back. Second point, dream big and plan even bigger. In other words, select your destination with respect to your career, your finances, your family, and your spiritual life. And then plot a detailed course to get there. Write down your destination in great detail. Carry it with you. Revisit it and revise it every 6 months. This will not only help you to embrace what you are moving towards, but it will also help you to quickly edit out and delete those time wasters and distractions which will take you off course and away from your desired destination. Thirdly, find like-minded, positive friends. I was really encouraged, quite frankly, when I heard the opening, one of the graduates mentioned how you all became fast friends, and quite frankly, it's U15, the U12 that stuck to the course right to the end. The fall away from the 17. Well, we have the example of Gideon, right? You only need a few, but you need a few committed people. Find like-minded, positive friends and associates. They are there. Establish or join a debating or social outreach club at your school, church, whatever. Iron sharpens iron, and you need to be tested and improve as you advance. Also be accountable to each other for your plans and development. Nothing like having a buddy that's going somewhere. Right? Stay away from bad company. I know you hear it from your parents, your mothers, your grandmothers. Bad company. Stay away from them. You need positive reinforcement. Stick with positive people who mean to go somewhere. Number 4, find a mentor. Someone that you have regular access to, can trust, and who can keep you focused and help direct your future. That may be a family member. It may be a senior person in church or work, but the point is, find someone who can help direct you where you're going. And don't be afraid to find more than one. Big wide world. Don't be afraid to move on. 5th point. Don't quit. Life has obstacles. It's a fact. Life is often not fair, but life will always also reward those who have a tenacious spirit. Keep going no matter what. Outlast your struggles and setbacks. You know, in the book of Joshua, they were told, only be courageous. Be strong and courageous. You have to take that with you when you leave this place, when you leave this country, when you stay in this country, when you come back, when you work, outlast your problems. Yes. That is one of the key things for success. You're not always going to have sunny days. In fact, you won't have, every day won't be sunny. You know that you have the ability and the intention to outlast your problems. 7th point. Duplicate yourself by influence. Spread the good word and allow your lived example to influence others. Start a movement of young people about something. You know, it's in a way I look at young people today, or younger people today, and I smile because in my day, when I was in university, we had so many world-changing events. We had, of course, the anti-apartheid movement. We saw Mandela release. We saw the Berlin Wall come down. There were so many things for young people to be about. These days, big corporations are competing for you to be just another consumer, to buy more tennis, or to buy more Remy here, to buy nails. Right? You are merely a dollar sign to them. You have to be far, far smarter than that. And I'm also asking you to be a leader. All of you by participating in the certification course have shown that you've got gumption and you've got ambition. I'm asking you all, for the sake of us all here and for our nation, to lead. And I'm not just talking about the simplified leading that comes from, forgive me, politics, right? Because politicians follow. Oldest game in the book. Oldest game in the book. You have to be a leader in your own right, whatever field you choose. But be expert at something so that the politicians, they have to listen to you. Right? If they want the fire and you have it, they have to come to you. And if and when you decide to make politics an avenue for you, you go there already set. You're not going to get, you're going to give.
Yes.
Number 8, give back. Always remember your roots and those who have sacrificed for your success. You have an obligation to give back to your family, your nation, and those that nurtured and gave birth to you and your success. Always remember that. You are obligated. When I was coming up in the 70s and the 80s, we knew as Bahamians we were special. We knew that. We knew we could compete. I mean, I went to the LSE, London School of Economics. That's the school John F. Kennedy went to. You say the LSE anywhere in the world, they know that. I would want a place there. You're an anonymized number. My point is, all of you can do that and more. In fact, I expect you to do more and to go further.
Yes.
You all are growing up in a time where you have the internet. Nothing is hid from you. No information, no technology is hid from you. Avail yourself of it. Instead of paying whatever they pay now on the internet, seek knowledge, seek information. Be technologically savvy, because the kids in India are doing that. The kids in China are doing that. Like, that is your competition. It's wonderful to have peers that are at the same level, but you have to realize and appreciate the world is huge. In the 70s on ZNS, they used to have a show, a wonderful show called Big Blue Marble, right? It allowed us to see people from around the world and what was happening. These days, they too busy giving you all a tablet to look at. Put you to sleep, so you don't really know what's going on, and you get overtaken by events.
Yes.
So be aware, pay attention to international trends, get to know your craft, and get to know what your peers in India, China, around the world are doing. What's the level of their study? Yeah? What are they focused on? Okay? That's where you have to go. That's what you have to think. And with regard to having an attitude that's acceptable, and I mentioned an incident that many of you might have heard about a few years back. When I say having an attitude of gratitude, it's also having an attitude that you appreciate that all of us are just dust. That's all it is, right? Some of us might be able to have had the benefit and opportunities of studying a bit more, reading a bit more, but ultimately we're all dust. When you realize that, you will appreciate people far differently.
Yes.
About 2 years ago, there was a story in the paper about how in Harbor Island, Bill Gates, I know we all know who Bill Gates is, Bill Gates was in Harbor Island on vacation. And Bill Gates, the richest man in the world, was in shorts, Bermuda shorts and some flip-flops, and went into they were a type of housing agent, right? Like Damiano's or Sotheby's, looking at houses. He was in there with his assistant. And the assistant, very extremely well-dressed and well-coiffed Bahamian lady, saw Bill Gates looking at the wall of all of the potential homes for sale. And she went up to him and she said, "Oh, no. You don't look at these homes. These are in the $7 million category. You should come and look over here at some of the regular bungalows." The story in the paper was that Mr. Gates looked at her, smiled, thanked her, and walked out. His assistant, however, did this woman a favor by coming back into the office and saying to her, "Miss, do you know who you just spoke to?" And she said no. And he told her, he said, "That was Bill Gates." In other words, just her condition on one house by Bill Gates would not only set her up for life, but would set her up for generations. Her grandchildren would be blessed from her one act of decency to someone that she looked down on. Sometimes we entertain angels and we don't know what's amongst us. Have the right spirit. None of us are ever too high. I also want to speak to you on something that I was pleasantly surprised to see. And I smiled, and I've seen me smiling. I smiled because, to be honest, I'm very encouraged by a number of young males that I have. And I was even more refreshingly thrilled, to be honest, and I hope I don't embarrass you. But I love to hear the fact that you had a full grasp and command on English.
Yes.
It's something that too many of us think isn't important. Well, it's a small world, but everybody learns English. The Chinese learn English. The Indians learn English. All Europeans learn English. So if we have a natural competitive advantage in a language, for Jesus' sake, learn it well. It is skin shaking and crawling when you see applications for employment or someone competing and asking for a job that you know this person probably is skilled, but for whatever reason, no one has said to them, Jesus said, if your only language is English, you have to be expert in it. There should be no grammatical errors, even when you're on the job. Don't assume just because you have people from all over the world and English is their second, third, or fourth, or fifth language, you could write anything, any kind of how, because they judge us on that. And they think, these people only have one language to master and they cannot get it right. And don't give up that opportunity. You young guys in particular, I accept that you might be around your friends, and we all, we can all speak, dialect and colloquialism. That's wonderful. But know when to switch.
Yes.
Know when to know the environment, what it calls for, when it's time to switch. Know how to write standard English. Know how to spell. It is really an advanced tool that you cannot give up. The other thing, read good books. There's a saying that goes, the person who does not read good books has no advantage over the person who cannot read. That's right. So watch what you're putting in your heads. Watch what's going into your eye gate and your ear gate. This world is designed to distract you.
Yes.
Right? We don't want to admit it, but there's certain people at a certain level that have determined that a certain group of people in the world are just designed for consumers. So you have to decide what you want in life. Is it going to be sufficient for you to be a mere consumer? Or do you want to do something so transformational that it changes your life, changes your family life, and changes your nation? You have to decide. My final point is to remember your God and to serve Him with all your strength and And I appreciate that this could be challenging. Again, everything in our society militates against it. People tell you that, if you want the money, you have to, forget your principles, forget what you were raised on, and would serve your family and this nation for years, and go along with whatever comes along. Right? It's a trick. Don't fall for it.
That's right.
Never permit others to distort the reality of the God of your fathers, or for you to turn your back on Him in pursuit of some bogus notion of progress and intellectual advancement. Be tenacious in possessing your faith and your belief.
Yes.
I mentioned the book of Joshua. He said, only be strong and very courageous. To contemporize it a bit for you 300 fans, 300. You might remember King Xerxes leads down and he gives Leonidas a challenge. He says, when Leonidas indicates that he's going to fight this army, with only his 300 men. And Xerxes says to him, "There'll be no glory in your sacrifice. I will erase every memory of Sparta from the histories. Every piece of Greek parchment shall be burned, and every Greek historian and every scribe shall have their eyes put out and their tongues cut from their mouths. Why, uttering the very name of Sparta or Leonidas will be punishable by death. The world will never know that you existed at all." That's the threat. And in response, Leonidas turned his back on him and said this: "The world will know that free men stood against a tyrant, that few stood against many, and before this battle is over, that even a god king will bleed." Be strong. Amen.
Thank you, Mrs. Copeland. Very inspiring, very only beginning. What are you going to do next? Our speaker spoke about reading the books. And I just want to put in a plug for one of my favorite authors, Malcolm Gladwell.
Outliers.
Outliers, yes, is a book. You can look it up online. Read it. It tells you how you can be an outlier in the world of everyday people. Okay, now is the time for what we have come for, which is the presentation of awards. I will begin by calling the attendance, by calling the completion awards. But before I do, I'd like to call our presenter, Mr. So the first name I'm going to call, Jordan Albright, Kingsway Academy. Mr. Omar Archer Jr., Bahamas Academy. Miss Desaria Demerit, St. Augustine's College. Miss Shante DeVoe, Anatole Rogers. Latonya Ferguson, Kingsway Academy. Trey Ford, Aquinas College. Corey Fraser, Simi Bethel, Senior High. Shannon Mackey, St. Augustine's College. Bakari Miller, Aquinas College. Randy Robert, CC Student. And Edwina Thompson, Government High School. Now the awards for attendance. Ray Ford, Aquinas College. Corey Fraser, CBS. And Corey Miller. And now we will announce our star performers. Our star performer, Sammy Matthews. Fourth place, Shante DeVoe. Thirdly, we have Kari Miller. In second place, Sheree Ford. And now for our first place star performer, Miss Desaria Demaret. Now for the best students in each module. Module 1, financial calculation and computer skills. Module 2, economic concepts and applications. Module 3, introduction to financial institutions. Best student, Miss Desaria Demaret. And best student in module number 4, legal, ethical, and management basics, Bakari Miller. Thank you. Let's congratulate all of our graduates. Before our school will end full of thanks by our students, we'd like to present our speaker, Mrs. Cox-Nottage, with an arrangement by Jane Major, our council member.
Before I make this presentation to her, I want to just thank her for an excellent, inspiring, motivational. The things that you say, we take for granted, we automatically think, oh, that's common knowledge, everybody should know. But it's always good to hear it again and again, so that it gets in our student spirit, and they begin to live it. So we just want to thank her so much.
Now, our vote of thanks will be done by two of our students, Desaria Demaret in Lessons College and Jordan Aldry, Kingsway
On behalf of the entire G12 group,
We would like to thank
each and everyone who has contributed to the success of today's ceremony. We give thanks to our parents who allowed us to join this wonderful learning program
We also thank
our teachers who recommended us.
to our parents, friends, lecturers, employees, and member banks of them. We give thanks
For taking time out.
of your busy schedules to come here today. Lastly, we hope that you enjoy the ceremony and may God continue to bless you all.
Thank you all. That is the end of our formal exercises. We do have refreshments at the back for your enjoyment. Before we do partake, though, I would like the students to stay behind for a group photo, if that is okay. Thank you again. Congratulations again to our graduates. Good evening.
That's an announcement of parents. You can be listening out for a telephone call from the office for the placement of the children for the third part of this program. during the summer months. Okay? Listen out for our call. All right. Celebration.